changes in the future, then we can open ourselves to Maitri, loving kindness, an attitude of really thinking of others, contemplating how to be able to help others. So we develop this attitude of kindness and acceptance towards those beings who are manifesting for us in difficult ways. And the same thing is true with our thoughts and attitudes and feelings. If we can develop a radical acceptance to what's arising, not as something to be resented or rejected, but to accept this is now, this is what's appearing now. Then we have an opportunity to change, to develop this sense of equanimity. Because it's only in the present moment that change can happen. Past is finished. The future hasn't come. So the present is really what we have to work with. So if we develop this kind of attitude, then we have the chance to develop concentration and insight. Otherwise, we'll be fighting against our thoughts, our planning. Our thoughts become our enemy. So rather than fighting, we develop this attitude of kindness. Oh, okay, I accept what's arising now. It's here. It's here. This is it. Now, what could I do to not see that again in the future? What can I do to make a better future? So it's really impossible to develop peace of mind using aggressive or contentious methods. If we want peace, peace must be our method. If we want a mind that abides in loving kindness, we need to use loving kindness as a way of working with the mind. Loving kindness towards our own mind, not criticizing or judging. So we are experiencing exceptionally chaotic and confusing times. It's difficult. It's hard to maintain a sense of equanimity. We try. We remember that what is appearing is illusory. And only suffering will come if we see it as concrete, if we see it as self-existent, as permanent. And then we ruminate over it, telling stories about it, imagining the consequences, instead of letting our mind become Dharma, filled with a wish for all beings to have happiness. I think in the beginning, it's true that our practices seem more like just a mental exercise. But as we go deeper into the practice, with repetition over and over again, cultivating this attitude of loving kindness, the sense of separation between self and others disappears. And our minds become the Dharma that we seek to cultivate. So the signs, if we're properly cultivating the Dharma, we can check in our own life if we've been practicing. Is my life more serene? Do I have more ease? Do I have a greater sense of loving kindness, compassion? Do I have greater inner peace? Do I have greater joy? Do I have equanimity? How is my equanimity? We can see where it just might be a little bit off kilter in some places. So it just points us to where we have work to do, which is good. It's good. Then we continue to cultivating this light of compassion and wisdom. So I'm going to invite you to find your meditation seat. And sitting comfortably. Bringing the body to a state of stillness. Taking an intentional deep breath and releasing the past and thoughts about the future. Allowing our awareness to be here, right now. And reflect on your motivation for this practice. Thinking that each and every one of us longs for happiness and freedom from pain and difficulty. Each one, our friends, we see that they have joys and sorrows. We see that they long for happiness and they don't want to suffer. They have hopes and dreams. They have problems. They get sick, just like me. And the same is true of those who push our buttons, those that we don't like because they behave in ways that are harmful. And yet, just like my friends and just like me, they want to be happy. They don't want to suffer. They have problems. They have joys. They get sick. They have people who love them. There's very little difference between us when we examine. And all those people that we have yet to meet, we go into the bank and the clerk, we see them quite often, but we don't know their name and we don't know anything about them. Just like me, they want to be happy and free from difficulties. They have joys and sorrows. They have families they care for. They don't want to suffer. This is true of every single living being. When I am able to bring that to mind, as a difficult thought or emotion is arising in my mind, surrounding a person who is not very likable, when I am able to recognize that they too want to be happy, that each and every one of us is blown by the winds of our karma and our afflicted emotions. We act out of ignorance, each one of us. And when we have the power to sit in meditation and see what is arising in the mind, what is abiding, what is passing, is completely essenceless. When we see that, we have the ability to change the future. To apply loving kindness to this moment changes the future, creates a ripple effect, and brings a brighter future. So think that each of us wishing for happiness and freedom from suffering, through the power of my practice, may it be so. May I bring all beings to a state of immutable happiness and peace. How wonderful that would be. So please now attend one pointedly to your breath. Experience it flowing out and back in again. The sensation right at the tip of the nose. Or if you wish, the rising and falling of the belly in a body that is completely relaxed and still. Just the breath. That's all. Let the thoughts pass like waves upon the shore, rising up and falling down. One corner of your mind is always watching to ensure that the posture has not collapsed, that there is no tension, and that awareness is on the object. And if you lose it, when you lose it, gently return and begin again. That is the practice. We find ourselves grasping, we release, and we return again to center, attending to the sensation of the breath with nothing else to do. Notice the turning of the breath, following the exhale all the way to the end, and watching as the body inhales. The changing sensations. There is a still point as the breath turns. One can dive deeper right there. We might have a taste of no thought. still mind. And within this still, precious, peaceful place, I invite you to imagine a small sphere of light at your heart. A light of loving kindness. And imagine that from all directions, rays of love and kindness are pouring forth into that light. Giving a deep sense of being loved and energizing that love. As you inhale, allow that light to become brighter. And as you breathe out, rest in comfort and peaceful ease. Imagine that all of your material needs are met, and that now you can turn your full attention toward cultivating long-term well-being, coming from ethics, mindfulness, from wisdom. Bring to mind your deepest, heartfelt wish, knowing that you do have the potential to realize that wish. And on each breath, aware of the loving kindness in your heart, say to yourself, may I be happy and well. May I realize my potential and my deepest wishes. And with every out-breath, rest in strength and peaceful ease. May I be happy and well. May I fully realize my potential and my deepest wishes. And resting in strength and peaceful ease. May I be well and happy, realizing my highest potential. May I be well and happy, realizing my highest potential. Our hearts are so full of loving kindness. We long to share it. So we imagine that that radiant sphere of white light at our heart sends out rays of love and kindness in all directions, touching every single human being, animals, birds, insects, every being, those seen and unseen. Focusing our attention toward others. With each out-breath, send out the wish. May we all be happy and well. May we all realize our potential and deepest wishes. And with every in-breath, rest in a feeling of strength and peaceful ease. May we all be happy and well. May we realize our potential and our deepest wishes. May we all be happy and well, realizing our highest potential. I invite you to direct your well wishes, direct them to your friends and family. May you be happy and well and actualize your highest potential. And then turn your attention to one whom you find unlikable. And reflect, may you be well and happy and realize your highest potential. And then turning to those we don't really know, but we may pass them on the street regularly or see them regularly. Thinking, may you be well and happy. May you realize your highest potential. Now, as we wish all beings well, we gently end the practice, gathering the light, bringing it into the heart center, into this sphere of light, and let it absorb there. And bring your attention to the room and each person here today, recognizing that each of us has access to our infinite potential. And as we conclude, send out the wish, may each one of us here today be happy and well. May we realize our full potential and our deepest wishes. And then take a moment to bring your awareness into this space together. I thought as we go into some rooms, let's break out into some rooms to have a bit of a discussion with one another. What is our highest potential? Think about that. Have a discussion about that. When we say, may I achieve my highest potential? What is our highest potential? So, Angela, will you do your magic? Do you think? What do you think? What is your highest potential?
I think it's similar to what you said last week, that where we see the glimpse of nirvana here and there, when our mind, at least my mind, sometimes is so expansive and loving towards people and just, and then the lack of afflictions in the mind. And it's so beautiful and so peaceful, right? And I think it's about having more of that, making it more natural, habituating it, and eventually having the mind like His Holiness, or it's that it's so natural.
Yes, yes. Do you find what do you find is the best way to cultivate it for you?
The best way to cultivate. So I think everyone has different tendency, right? So for me, um, like the stuff that I'm working on is I have a lot of greed, I have a lot of arrogance. I tend to be critical and anxious and stuff like that. So it's like some of the things that has been helpful is practicing gratitude, practicing seeing the good side, like positive side of the situation.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Things. Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, it's a relaxed, kind of like not forceful, but relaxed way of love, compassion practice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 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 So taking a situation when you see a mental affliction has kind of hooked you,
Yeah.
then applying an antidote of generosity, or seeing the emptiness of it, that there is another side, a positive side to that, and what might that be? Yeah, that's really Lojong, isn't it?
It is Lojong, yeah. And it's like I feel like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and we have to try different things at different
Yes,
times. But
yes,
yeah. And then I think there's also a thing of like working in a subconscious level. For example, if you keep repeating, like Tinanan does now a lot, if you keep repeating the positive things with the breath, like how wonderful, let's say, for example, and then the mind becomes more positive in the
yes.
long run. Yeah. Yeah.
That it's true. It's true. How wonderful. Yes. Doing that in our meditations
Yeah.
from time to time when we just say, so now resting in a state of peaceful ease. How wonderful.
Yeah.
And then it becomes wonderful, doesn't it?
Yeah. It goes in, and then even when I'm not thinking, I'm eating and I'm thinking about like, things I'm grateful for, and then it's not, even though I'm not forcing it, it becomes more, I think, imbued into the way of thinking.
Yes. And then we're reminded the next time we do that activity, we're
Mhm.
reminded, right?
Yeah.
We kind of go there again much more easily when we repeat, repeat. Yeah.
Not so easy though. Yeah.
Oh, that's why they call it practice.
I think at least for me, more I practice, more I realize how difficult it is to change. Like it takes a really long time for change because mine is so habituated in one way.
Yes.
So when we try to habituate on the other way, it just it's a really long process.
It is a process, and it does work. It does, just like any habit.
Yeah.
We do find that we can give up that thing that we thought we could never give up.
Mm.
And then we can do that thing that we thought we could never do.
Yeah, yeah. Anything is possible, right?
It's true. It really is true. So cultivate what brings happiness in our life. And then, yay. Yeah. Try to have a mind like His Holiness, as you said. Try to have a mind that abides in a state of loving kindness and peace and wisdom.
Without effort.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, effortless. Yeah, beautiful, very beautiful. But I think we can see when we practice over time that some things are falling away, some afflictions are becoming less and less, more diminished. Like maybe you would have become irritated if something had happened, some simple thing had happened. In the past, you would have been irritated, but now it doesn't faze you.
Yeah.
It's just happening. That's what's happening. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to watch and to check, just to check what's going on in my mind. Where am I now? And where do I need to work?
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. Good. Yay. Hi, everybody. So, tell me, what's your highest potential? What did you decide? I'm talking to all of you.
So I'll start before Victoria throws me under the bus.
Thank you.
My group, we went from getting through the day to getting through the life to enlightenment. So yeah, we went to all of it. Mm-hmm. Kathy, her first thought was enlightenment, and I guess I need a better vision statement because I haven't been able to look that far except in basic motivations every day. Maybe I need to put a little bit more effort into that.
Mm-hmm. If we think about that, what William James said, that to which we attend in the moment becomes our reality. So the more we attend to our highest potential, the more it becomes our reality. So just having an idea of what is enlightenment, how it's defined, to have a mind, as Angela was saying, when we were in a room together, when she was saying that, to have a mind like His Holiness, where there is no mental affliction. It comes naturally for him to love, to have compassion, and to have wisdom. So it's a natural reaction to all things that comes. For us, sometimes we have to do lojong, some mind training. When things arise that are unpleasant, then we apply the antidote to that, whatever that might be. Our own personal mental afflictions. We all have our varying degrees of the mental afflictions, and they're different in each one of us. I remember one teacher said, pick your worst affliction and then work on it. Really work on it. Work on that one. And somebody said, well, how do you know? What if you don't know what your worst affliction is? And he said, ask one of your friends. Oh, yeah. So who else? What else? Victoria, you were gonna say something. You have to turn your mic on.
Aren't you tired of hearing my voice? No, I think that for me, the thought of enlightenment is it does something in my mind, the thought of being free, of being liberated. But I am having a time in my life where I'm having to do it one day at a time. So I'm applying the WWBD method, which is the what would Buddha do. It helps me to make appropriate decisions in my life so that I can be kind and loving with others. And that, for me, is the highest and best use of myself, is to be kind and loving with others and generous and give my best to living out of the 6 perfections. And, you know.
Good. Good. Anybody else?
We discussed that it's like, I suggested that it means perhaps understanding that we are all connected, not just saying that, but really feeling it, because it's one thing to say it and it's another thing to feel it. And I feel like when you feel it, it's like you can truly feel compassion. Mm-hmm. And also, Jackie said that it's striving to be better for other people. And Jan said that to her it's enlightenment, but the things that we were saying kind of fall under that umbrella of enlightenment. Mm-hmm. 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 I think maybe it's also, and I just thought of this when Victoria was talking, it's recognizing that, you know, we have enough to be better to others, that we already have enough, that we have everything we need to be kind and compassionate to others, because it's so easy to just get stuck on something and feel like I don't have enough. But in reality, we're all here, so we probably do have enough.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, yeah, good. Somebody else have something to add?
Gordon wanted me to relate this.
To express myself as love.
To express himself as love. That's what he feels like is his highest potential.
Perfect. Perfect. Because what is that? Always wishing the other to have happiness and all of its causes. So that is really cutting to the self-cherishing thought, cutting that and being able to be really present with loving others, you know, really present. When we do that, you know, this idea that Ali said about interdependence, recognizing our interdependence. When we recognize that, and of course, from a Buddhist perspective, you know, we have lived uncountable lives. So we tend to actually give love to those who are close to us, those who are our friends and family. We tend to give love to those who've helped us or someone we love. That's who we love. Those are our friends and family. So I find it's really helpful to think of the long term, you know, the fact that life before life, before life, before life, I have had friends and family and mothers and sisters. So all of these beings, even the one who's irritating me right now, has likely been kind to me. So that helps me when I'm having a moment. That's one of my mind training tricks, is to say, all right, you know, at some point in time in the many lives that I've had, you've been kind to me. So I don't want to, somebody said, throw them under the bus. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And my own mind becomes way more peaceful if I am able to send love to a person that I don't like right now. So my own mind, if I recognize that they too want to be happy and that they're being forced by their own ignorance to behave in ways that are harmful to themselves and to others. That's really helpful for me as a way to not wish others harm, not to wish others harm, to only wish them well and rejoice when they are well and happy. So I think that's a practice that is useful for all of us, to always try our best to see how other people are, just like me, wanting to be happy, and that we are interdependent. Everything we have, our very life, depends on others. Everything we have. Without others, we wouldn't be able to live. So it's important to think like that. It's very helpful because there is no solid me, myself, and I here. And the more I can think about our interdependence, then the less I cling to a solid self-existence. And the closer I come to understanding reality as it is, and coming from that place, that everything is changing. Okay? Good. Let's dedicate this lovely session. Let's take all of the energy, this positive energy where we spent our session wishing others well, that all could realize their highest potential. And let's dedicate it to the truth of that. By merit of this virtue, may I become Buddha and lead all beings, everyone, into that enlightened state. May the precious Bodhi mind not yet born arise and grow, and may that born not decline, but increase more and more. May all beings everywhere, plagued by sufferings of body and mind, find an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of my merit. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled with a mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms, the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their ailments. Whatever diseases there are in the world, may they never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be free. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, there too may I remain to dispel the misery of the world. So please also think of those beings in your life who are unwell and dedicate to their welfare. And those who have recently passed away, may they have fortunate rebirths. And may all of our teachers have long and fruitful lives. And may we live in a world of enlightened politics. Just and kind. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming. Thanks for being here. If you have questions, you can hang around. If not, you can go cook your dinner. Whatever you like.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Gordon. Nice to see you.
Excellent.
Thank you, Elaine.
Thank you. Be well.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Yes.
Bye.
Welcome.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.